anything, why not be
You know what I love to do on a 95-degree Chicago summer day, Paula?
Play no wrong answers, non-burning questions to kick off conversations created by the co-host of what's this podcast called? Being Earnest.
that is one of the things.
Yes, perfect.
The other thing that I love, pouring myself a piping hot, steaming cup of hot coffee.
Ooh. Are you a hot coffee? Well, you're not really a coffee guy, but when push comes to shove, are you a hot or an iced?
This is breaking news on the podcast here, Paula. I'm a coffee guy now.
What? I've been trying for years.
I know.
It makes it harder when you don't actually come to my house to record, because when you would come here, I'd always be like, I poured you coffee, and then I'd stare you down.
Yeah, it was less of a choice and more of a part of the entry process. Yeah, part of the I'm not going to record with you unless you drink this coffee in front of me. Chug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hazing.
Hazing. I'd throw it on you.
Yes, exactly. I still have burns. I'm a coffee person now. I drink coffee in the morning. Great. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Are you a hot or an ice guy?
I generally like a hot coffee, but iced coffee feels like it's a treat. Like I get to go out and get an iced coffee. I don't like making an iced coffee for myself. I know that it's pretty easy to do.
It feels so complicated though.
Yeah,
and
it really
I know
does.
It's just coffee on ice.
Yeah. But if you want it, I get into I'm choosing to not get obsessed with coffee because I could do let me make some cold brew concentrate.
You could get obsessed with it. Yeah. Don't do that.
So yeah, it's just ice, but that extra step really gets me. It's really hard. And then also there's a certain amount that being a good Boston boy is I'm only going to get my iced coffee from Dunkin'. I want the $2 enormous iced coffee from Dunkin'.
You prefer coffee that's just not very good.
No, I like really good coffee. I just also like Dunkin'. It tastes like childhood.
Yeah, it tastes like when you were a kid and you'd head out with the guys on the frickin' what do they call it? The Tbone Train.
You said that that was a thing.
What is the name of the train? The T.
The T. Yeah. The
T.
The Tbone Train.
So I went into the office for the first time since March. I went in the office. And of course, in order to do anything that's even base level, what just an adult should do without complaining, I need to give myself treats.
Sure.
I need to be you were doing such a good job, Paula. You get a treat for this. And then I go broke. But I was all right.
Like a pet that's food motivated.
Yes, exactly. And a very, very boring turn of events. My work is being very good with being very very cautious. So there is no cups, no liquid or anything in the office. So if you want coffee, you got to bring it. So I was like, well, I forgot it. Of course, I need to go to Starbucks. There was a woman waiting, and the whole vibe of this woman, she was the most professional looking lady I've ever seen in my entire life. Business suit, perfect hair. And she also had the cardboard thing where you're getting multiple drinks.
Yeah, the drink carrier.
Yes. And as somebody who's worked in corporate for years, you can identify she was 100% a high level assistant.
Sure.
I would bet my
executive
money
assistant kind of. Yeah.
Yes. One of those, just the vibe I got is she's one of those that she's secretly running the company. She keeps it all together. Right. Mm-hmm. So she's obviously picking up for very powerful people, and she's drinking her coffee. So I know this one's not hers. They handed her a cup, 9 a.m. That is a Trenti caramel ribbon frappuccino with extra whip. This thing was 1.5 feet high. And I just love the idea that somewhere out there is a very high level executive at a company that's I cannot start my day before I have my Trenti caramel frappuccino with extra whip.
Mm-hmm.
This person was getting a milkshake.
Now, Paula, I do have an important question. Did you recognize this executive assistant from maybe the film franchise The Boss Baby? Because that sounds like who would maybe be getting this
okay
smoothie, essentially.
a milkshake.
Yeah.
Smoothie's being very
too
generous.
healthy. Yeah.
Full on milkshake. Okay. Good. I'll follow up. I have to go back to the office this week one day. I'm going to linger around till I see her again.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, I've got to ask you some questions.
Yeah. I'm sure your office will really appreciate that.
Yeah. I just like imagine like, I mean, I work for a startup, so very different, but like imagine like you're in one of those like corporate boardrooms, right? With the big long table and you're sitting way over at the end and you're like waiting for the CEO to come in and they walk in and the door slams open and everyone's like, oh, they're here. And they come walking in, full suit, swarm of people behind them, taking little sips of their big old milkshake at 9 a.m.
So this is the thing. Imagine using a straw that early in the morning.
And it's so thick, it's stuck.
Yeah. You're just in the middle of a presentation. You're like, and our revenue numbers indicate that maybe we want to expand to a couple other Midwest states. No, keep going, Trent. I really like what you're doing. I don't know why I made the CEO a man. That's problematic.
Well, unfortunately, just statistically, it probably was for a man.
Yeah.
And also Trenty. Do you know how big a Trenty cup is?
Yeah, it's a big gulp, but for people who don't want to admit that they're getting a big gulp.
Yes, and it wasn't a coffee one. It wasn't like, okay, well, they get the mocha one. There's a little caffeine. This was caramel.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Welcome to Being Earnest, a very sincere podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Paula. This thing was the size of from my elbow to the tip of my finger. Unreal.
And we're here to bring you the earnest and sincere topic and news of the day. Paula, what's our topic this week?
Our topic this week is porch/patio/deck.
Porches, patios, and decks. Oh my.
Oh my. It's hot season in Chicago. We have cold season, we have nice season, we have hot season. We skipped the nice season this year. We're all in on hot season.
The first day I moved to Chicago, which actually coincidentally is today, 7 years ago when we're recording this. It's my Chicago-versary.
And Josh and I have the same Chicago-versary.
It's wild. But
because we road tripped across the country, we said, buddy, let's move to that city.
Yeah, we met online on MySpace, and we said that we were gonna.
He was in my top 8.
Yeah, that we were going to move to the same city. Now, Paula has more Chicago seniority on me. We just happened to have moved at the same time. But yeah, literally got off the plane at Midway, the less popular lyric from Miley Cyrus.
Hopped off the plane at Midway, where it mostly was Southwest.
Yeah. And I get in a taxi with my 4 bags because, of course, I flew Southwest because I flew with as many bags as was legally allowed. And
I will defend Midway till the day I die. I love Midway.
I like O'Hare, but Midway's great.
Easier, less people.
So I get in this taxi and the guy is like, all right, well, if you're new to Chicago, we got 4 seasons here in Chicago. We got winter, we got almost winter, still winter, and construction.
Oh, I bet you he manages to tell that joke every single time somebody gets in the car.
Oh, yeah, somehow. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just commit to a bit. He's got one bit. It's like a one-hit wonder kind of situation. But yes, it is the hot times. Also construction time.
Yes.
So we're getting a lot of outside time because we don't get a lot of it, both because of the pandemic and because of it being cold a lot of the year here in Chicago.
Yes. The outside is the outside is filled with perils.
The outside is lava. The
outside is hot lava. I took my first trip post-vaccination since March, whatever year, 1803 or however long we've been stuck, to New Orleans, and hung out in New Orleans for a couple days. Then we drove down.
I'm so sorry. I think that if you went to New Orleans in 1803, it either just became part of the U.S. from the Louisiana Purchase or was about to be part of the U.S. from the Louisiana Purchase.
Intense, I think, down there. Probably not a place I'd want to go, or most people. But then, so we did New Orleans for a couple days. Then we went to the Bayou. The Bayou. We slept on a swamp. Here is the bed. You can't see my hand, but the swamp overlooking. Could not sleep the first night because too many sounds of nature. Too peaceful. But I was like, I'm going to be so outdoorsy. I'm actually just like hanging out at a swamp. Did not think about it. I leave Louisiana with my entire body is on fire, burned. My skin, you can't see it. It looked like I was wearing a white tank top. That was just my skin. And I just have sheaths of skin peeling off me. I also have upwards of 100 mosquito bites. That's not an exaggeration. I have 100 mosquito bites. So yeah, I think I got my fill of outside.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you went full outdoors. It wasn't like beach or whatever. You were like, no, I think the most glamorous spot is this swampy area.
So yeah, I'm sticking with porch patio deck this year. Actually, is the lesson there.
Enclosed spaces. So then,
yeah,
I guess here is the important question to ask: what is the difference between a porch and a patio and a deck?
Okay, I'm completely BSing here.
Sure.
And I'm sure we're going to fight about it.
I was hoping for that.
I think a patio is ground level.
I agree.
Patio, typically concrete, ground level. Because it can't be grass, because then a grass is a yard.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I agree. So patio is ground. Could you have like but then what is it when it's on a roof? Or like what if there were a couple steps up to get to it? But it was deck. That's a deck. Like decks are raised.
Decks are raised. Porch or a deck can be a balcony. Is a deck also a balcony?
Okay, so let's add in balconies to this because that's a separate thing. So yeah, okay.
Patio is you open the door, there is concrete, you are now on the patio.
Is there a size limit? Because I think that there's a minimum size of patio for me. Like you need to be able to put at least a couple of tables worth of stuff, whether or not it's a restaurant or it's your backyard. Like a patio is like an area where multiple people gather versus a porch and a deck could be a one-person space. It would feel weird to call that a patio.
Well, a patio, I think by nature of it being on the ground is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You're not confined. It is a larger space. Yeah, patio.
I do think it can be confined around the outside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it is a larger space that has tiling, concrete, something like that.
You're not going to fall off the edge of a patio and injure yourself.
Correct.
Well, maybe like a stub toe or something, but yes, it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think a deck is raised and usually wood.
Yes, I agree. It's raised if it has at least one step up to it, or if it is raised, or even if the way that you get onto it is not a step, like a back deck on something like that. It is raised somehow off of the ground, whether it's on the side of a building or up off of. Yes.
Agreed. I think a porch is the front.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't necessarily. So I would say,
what the hell do you think a porch is?
So here's the thing. I think a deck can or cannot have something on top of it.
Okay.
Like coverage above it.
Okay.
But a porch always has an overhang to it in some way, shape, or form. And I also think that it applies for back porches too. So like a wrapper, so there's the porch in the front. The only thing you would call that, whatever that is in the front of a building, is a porch.
You wouldn't be like, let's go on the deck and it's like a wraparound deck. It's a porch.
No, it's a porch if it's in the front of a building. If it's in the back,
I can agree with that.
But like on your apartment, for example.
Thank you.
Your apartment in the back has a screened-in porch. That back room, I think, is a screened-in porch. And then I don't know what I would call like that landing to the top of your stairs. Maybe that's just a landing.
Just a landing.
Because
It's just a place that I go sit outside and read my little book for 5 minutes before I'm like, bugs, and then I go in.
Yeah, I guess that's different. It's just like, in order for it to be a porch, there needs to be enough space that it feels like it's a porch as opposed to just like a landing of stairs.
And that is where, yes. Yeah. Well, I think also like a landing of stairs, that's a very like urban, in a city where you're like, this is my outside. I also love my building. A lot of kids in my building. It is the place I can sit outside that kids are not playing.
Yes.
Now I will say a balcony, I think, is the smallest version. A balcony is 1 to 2 people. If it's bigger than that, it's a deck.
Yeah. And or a porch.
Or a porch.
Yeah, I think a deck. Now let me throw this out here. Does a deck have to be square?
No. Decks can be round. There's always round decks. Lots of them.
Really?
This feels like a weird hill you just invented to die on. Sure. Have you ever looked at Menard's catalog? There's so many round decks.
I just feel like in general, it is like it's squared edges and it's generally square or rectangular for a deck.
No. There's so many round decks.
This is how I feel. Maybe it's just where I've been raised and where I've lived, but like I think it's got to have right angles.
You're inaccurate. I knew you were going to pick some weird detail to some weird detail. Curved decks are like absolutely a thing. Literally, this is all like Menard's catalogs are.
Maybe I'm not saving big money at Menard's.
Well, you better be.
Yeah. A balcony.
But then I think a rooftop is different. I think then you can also have a rooftop, and that is, you can have a rooftop deck, but it's kind of still a rooftop,
I would argue that a rooftop is a patio in most cases. But
the whole thing we just said of a patio is that it's not raised.
But it is generally like concrete.
But we just said the whole thing with a patio is it's not raised.
Yeah.
And what is more raised than a rooftop?
It's true. Yeah, I guess it is technically a deck. It is technically called a deck.
Yeah.
There. But it has all the qualities of a patio besides the raisedness. Like the everything about it screams patio.
Yeah. But it is a deck at the end of the day.
But it is technically a deck. And I would say balcony, I agree, 1 to 2 people. But it's also the balcony thing is it's got to be like an overhang at least two floors up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You need a Romeo
and
Juliet
smaller.
situation. Yeah, it's a Romeo Juliet situation. It's a widow's walk is absolutely a balcony.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to feel comfortable expressing your innermost desires to the wind. And if you don't feel that way, it's not a balcony.
And if you don't feel that way, you don't deserve a balcony.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh, then let me ask you, what event are you having on each one? Do you know what I mean? Like a porch, that's like you're having like some of the ladies over because you're trying to get an in their Daughters of the American Revolution club or something.
That's an incredibly specific. Just like off the top of my head, that's the thing that I was gonna say like barbecue, but like or like porch.
No, that's a patio deck situation.
I guess that is a patio deck situation.
A porch. I'm sitting there with a fan and I'm saying, well, ladies, I suppose if you want to have events, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess a porch.
It just really changed me being in Louisiana for 4 days.
Yeah. I guess we're thinking about that kind of like classic Southern porch.
And again, we're talking the good version of the South.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the South. Don't agree with the politics at all. But there's some nice parts of it. They got us nailed on porches.
Yeah.
The food in the South, I'm telling you, is far better than our food.
Yeah. Well, because there's lard in it.
Do you know? Listen to this, that they have figured out in the South that we have not figured out. You get a drink. You get, I'm just talking like an iced tea. You get an iced tea. First off, they say sweet or regular. You can just get a big old thing of sweet tea wherever you go. I just get regular. You get your little cup, right? You're drinking your little cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Then they give you the check. They say, do you need any boxes? You're like, blah, blah, blah. They go, you want it to go? Excuse? They go in the back. They put whatever you've been drinking, iced tea, Diet Coke, whatever, in a giant ass cup as part of your bill, as part of your purchase, not extra.
Yeah, because
Isn't
open
that
container
amazing?
laws in Louisiana. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying it's not alcoholic. You will just be like, oh, you got a Diet Coke, you want a refill? I'll put the refill in a to-go cup.
That's wild.
It's the greatest. It is the greatest thing that America has ever done, and we have not gotten there yet. It is incredible. Yes, I always wanted to-go cup of iced tea, of Diet Coke, of whatever. And I was talking to people, as I want to do, and I was like, we don't have this in Chicago. You don't sit at a restaurant and then be like, and I'll take a to-go of this Diet Coke. And they were like, what? Excuse me? Incredible.
This is the divide that's really cutting our nation in two.
Man, I mean, it's the best thing I've ever seen. And they'll give you the biggest cup. Diet Coke, go ahead. Incredible. Because if I'm paying $2.25 for a soda, yeah, I want a cup to go too. Incredible. Let's move to New Orleans.
I guess that's what I'd be doing on a porch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would be sitting here while I scream at you, but opposite. I'd be like, look at how much better it is.
No, I think the thing that I would want to do on a porch is sit on the porch with an ice cold drink and watch people.
Yeah. And kind of lift up your hand to wave, but it's too hot.
Yeah, but really be like kind of like judging everyone who goes through, or alternatively be sitting there, just happen to be there right before a gentleman caller calls upon one of my children who they're going on a date and just happen to be out there. Not in a like stupid, like this is me with a gun in my picture while like, you're taking my daughter to prom or whatever. No, like just there to experience the awkwardness firsthand,
and we're in full light tan linen suits with a big hat.
Yeah. 2021 is the summer of linen. We're all, we're all good enough for linen. We're all worth linen.
Honey, we're all worth linen. That's my advice to our listeners. Yeah, I agree. I think a porch feels very glamorous.
Yes. I also think that patio is like I'm having a garden party.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's like I'm going to throw like a full birthday kind of thing where,
or an event.
Yeah, exactly. And a deck for me is like, that's just the cookout. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's a full on cookout. We're all sitting there. Maybe we open the umbrella. Maybe we don't.
Style. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we open the umbrella. Maybe we don't. Maybe we fidget with it. Maybe someone gets mad about how we're opening the umbrella wrong. And like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, that's all part of the experience.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And a balcony is for, like, postulating on the, on our own mortality.
Absolutely. Going out, leaning over and crying into the wind.
Yeah, for a quick cigarette break as you just think about how man has maybe ruined the earth.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I don't smoke, but a dramatic cigarette on a balcony.
Yeah. And also think about
smoking is so bad for you, but I'll be dang if it doesn't look so cool.
It looks so fucking cool.
It looks so cool. I'm rewatching Sex and the City, and it's like Carrie smokes the whole time, and I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, but I did dare. I did dare in middle school. I know all about it, but she looks so cool.
Yeah, imagine also even more than that. You're out there having a smoke and then on your balcony, and then someone opens the door and they're like, oh, I didn't realize you were out here. And you're like, I just needed a moment.
Yeah, I was just leaving. Put it out.
Yeah.
Leave. That person has wronged you.
Yeah. Oh, or alternatively, like now we can have this very important talk. that we've been avoiding the whole night. Maybe we all think everything is fine for our friends, but let's drop the act, Susan.
Yes. And I will say there's something so cool. Again, we don't smoke. I wish that candy cigarettes had the same effect.
Also, like doing a Juul is so much lamer. Just being like,
so stupid.
Yeah. I didn't realize you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say be like, I didn't realize you were out here.
This one's melon flavored.
Yeah, right. Cotton candy.
There is, again, watching these early 2000s Sex in the City, Carrie Bradshaw smoking, then someone comes out and they go, mind if I bum one? So cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't, I really wish that we could we could do gum breaks. Hey, got an extra double bubble?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm a winter mint man myself. What do you think would be the stupidest thing to be able to you're like, oh, I gotta go take a break, to take instead of a cigarette? Gum is really good.
What about a ring pop?
Yeah, it's just
Hold on, my federally mandated ring pop break.
Yeah. I tried to quit cold turkey a bunch of years ago, and I know it's bad for me, but at this point, the damage is done.
Can't imagine life without a ring pop.
Yeah.
Or one of those giant lollipops, like the colorful circular ones that little kids always ate in movies.
Yeah, or I know we talked about this a week ago, but if you had a holder for a Jawbreaker and he just popped it open, you're like, I got to do 5 minutes on my Jawbreaker. Just sitting there.
Smoking bad. We're not saying smoking good, but
smoking is bad. It's also fucking cool, but
there's
not
a
cool.
reason John Wayne did it.
Yeah, there's a reason why everyone cool does it, but it's not. But don't do it.
Look, you're telling me someone as cool as Joe Camel would have signed on if it didn't look awesome?
I love the premise that Joe Camel was there already, and they were like, maybe let's make a brand around him, not the other way around.
This guy. What if we got into stage cigarettes that they use, the fake ones that
the ones where you actually blow into them instead of out, and you have to make it look like you're.
Tubs of smoke.
Yeah. Or what
Everyone's
if you
go ahead.
What if you hand rolled clove cigarettes? Like you're a beatnik. That was me. Sorry, this is an audio medium. That was the sound of me licking the end of a rolling paper so that I could fold it over. Which I assume sounds like a slide whistle.
Or this is an embarrassing confession, but here we go. I went to a barbecue at my boyfriend's family's house, and I had 2.5 glasses of wine, which is my maximum amount of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And we were riding home, David driving, and I put on a jazz station, and it was the harmonica night. So I immediately opened up Amazon, and I did get one.
You play us something?
That's it.
Wow.
Not so good at it. I thought it was going to be a lot easier. I was like, this would be cool. But wouldn't it be so funny if you were like, oh, 10:30, time for my harmonica break. And you went out by the dumpster.
And you just played the harmonica solo to the song Hook by Blue. Is it Blues Traveler or is that one? Yeah, Blues Traveler. Look, whatever floats your boat.
Well, I haven't really figured it out yet. So,
Paula, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So patios, decks, porches, they're all outside, kind of. So what is the line between being indoors and being outdoors in these important in-between liminal spaces? Like, are you outside if you're on a porch?
Is it a covered porch? Or is it screened in? Do you know what I mean? I think screened in, not really. Unscreened, you're outside. Can the elements get to you?
Okay, gotcha. But it's like, so for, it's kind of like the equivalent of you're at the beach, but you're in a
Mhm.
pool that looks out over the beach. Like
Mhm.
you're not at the beach
Mhm.
when you're in the pool,
But you're outside.
but you are outside.
So you are outside.
You are outside. But like, I
Okay,
do
cute.
think that like, yes, like a Four Seasons room, you're not outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe this is a less profound question than I thought it was. It's literally like you opened the door, and if there aren't walls, you're outside. Like,
Well, yeah, no, but okay, but I think the deeper question is, would you consider it being in the great outdoors?
no, but if you're in a cabin in the woods on a porch,
Yeah.
then you are in the great outdoors. I think that's
Yeah.
it. That's much more geography based than it is.
Yeah.
Look at us, we solved it.
I think we figured that out.
That was real easy.
You.
I actually had that booked for 30 minutes of recording. So,
All right, perfect. So we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but what is the line between being outside and being outdoorsy? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a big patio gal. Out on the patio, let's hang out. But like I'm not going to be like, let's go camping.
Yeah.
What is the line?
Owning hiking boots.
Yeah, I think so. Are we just looking for a story here?
Yeah.
And tell me, what is the line?
Yeah.
And what is the difference between being outside and being in outside time?
Yeah.
We gotta kill 4 more minutes.
Yeah. Having outdoor space is such a like apartment. Like, I need outdoor space. And I say that being a person who needs outdoor space.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where like you've got the tick boxes of like outdoor space, central air, dishwasher, washer and dryer in unit, like all of those things. It feels like they're all the things that you want. And especially in Chicago, it's like, you're not getting them all.
No, you got to have 2 or 3 that you're like, I will not back down on these.
Yes.
But you can't have more than that, because not unless you're like, and I have $10,000 a month to spend.
Yeah, you can get whatever you want if you got money, but like that's true of anything.
Yes. But if you're like, okay, I really need an outdoor space, and I really need a full dining room, and I need central air, and I need a washer dryer, you're not getting all of them. Pick 2.
Yeah. So what are your 2? What are the 2 things that you personally, if you're trying to find an apartment, are like, I'm not going to drop them?
Well, I mean, I guess I've lived in this apartment forever, but before I lived in this apartment, I lived in extremely shitty apartments. I lived in apartments that people would be like, nice, when they came in, So when I was looking for this apartment, I was like, I need space, because I lived in like, me and David together lived in like 600 square feet, like very, very small. So my big thing was space and some sort of outdoor space. And the rest of it didn't matter. And which is good, because we didn't get anything else.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't get a central air or washer dryer or anything. But those are the 2 big things, and that is what we got. What about you? And I think I would stick with those. I think if I would like to have a washer dryer, but that I've not had one for so long that I'll live.
That is one of those things though that like once you go, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
So my first apartment in Chicago, I had roommates, and we had washer and dryer in unit. We had a back porch. We had dishwasher. We had central air. We had like all of it, but it was because there were 3 of us, and it was a newer building, and it was absolutely not soundproof, top or bottom. And we had loud, rowdy boys above and below us, so we could sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like to get to the porch, you had to go through my bedroom in the back.
Oh gosh.
So it was like they couldn't get to the porch if I was sleeping. It's like a whole thing. And then I moved into a studio alone where I had none of those things.
Yeah.
And then my current apartment, the number one thing that I care about is a dishwasher, because I hate washing dishes by hand.
Yeah.
It makes me so stressed. I leave it until forever. I also think that I'm not good at it. Like there's always a film of like just something on my dishes after I've washed them by hand. And there's something about the like dishwasher washing it and it really being squeaky clean that like absolutely just relieves 70% of the stress of my day. And I just know this about myself and I've accepted this about myself. And if I go back, I will manage, but I will be more stressed as a person.
Yes.
So that's like
I get
top
that.
of my list. And then below that, I think it's washer and dryer in unit because it seems like a small thing, but like being able to do laundry whenever you want to and not having to worry about anyone else, and also being able to warm up your sweaters in the winter before you go out for the day.
Wow.
You just
I wouldn't
throw
know
them
that
in.
world.
You just throw them in for like 3 to 5 minutes with like a wet paper towel so it doesn't like get too hot and it just steams them.
So glamorous.
And you just put that on and they're all steamed and there's no wrinkles or anything. And you walk out into the cold Chicago, commute and it's just warm all over your body. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, that's next level glam.
It's great.
That's
and you
so
can do
cool.
it. Everyone can do it if you've got a washer and dryer. You can't do it, Paula, but anyone who has a washer and dryer can. But I will say I love I've got the smallest porch of all 8 units in my building, in my connected buildings. But I do love just being able to have like my little grill out there, just like my tiny little grill that I just in my tiny space, and I have to like rearrange everything depending on whether my neighbor's dog needs to go down the stairs. But otherwise I've just got my little grill and I feel like I'm like I am the king of my domain. I am grilling meats and vegetables.
I'm grill man.
Yeah, I'm the grill master.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah. But it is funny that like people absolutely are like, I want everything when they come into the city.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes you see very, very sweet people, always coworkers. And they've never lived in the city before. They've always lived in a suburb and they're like, I'm moving into the city. And it is not their fault, but in the suburbs, you can get everything. You can get a deck and the washer dryer and the eat-in kitchen and the whole thing. And then they come in and they go, I have a budget of $1,300. I want it to be in the heart of the best neighborhood, full yard, full private yard, dog friendly,
2 parking spaces,
eat-in kitchen. Yes, parking spaces, garage. And you're like, it doesn't exist, bub.
Yeah, no way.
It doesn't exist.
Which is funny because like I've been in Chicago for 7 years and I know this. And I also came from like, I think it's a different experience coming in from the suburbs or other parts of the Midwest where Chicago is like, what are these rent prices? Oh my God, these are so high. Versus like, I came in from like the Boston, New York kind of like, that's where I was looking. And I was like, I get all this space. This is space that I get. What? I can get there are dishwashers. There's not a rat who runs the laundry machine downstairs.
Well, you got to pay
him
extra
up
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do it for us.
I think that's going to do it for us.
Thank you for listening for another week. We are now going to do our signature weekly segment, Earnest Moment of the Week.
Matwa.
So this Imatwa comes from listener Jared. Hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
So he has DM'd us on Instagram a picture of a guy with a beer, like just wearing shorts, wearing a t-shirt. And he says, we're sitting at this very bro-y bar and we look out the window and this bro is unironically, earnestly wearing an Andrea Bocelli t-shirt. Good for this bro who also likes classical music.
Oh, good for that guy.
Yeah, just like totally like he's absolutely like manspreading in this and just sitting there like with his like freaking IPA. And he's also like, you know what? I do love tenors.
Yes. Oh,
thanks,
I love
Jared.
that. Thanks, Jared. That's such an earnest thing. And you know, he probably had to search that shirt out. That wasn't just at Target, you know, where he was like, well, I like The Office. I'll grab this shirt.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, they're classical.
Order that.
They're kings of classical music section.
Yeah. We also were very lucky enough to partner a couple weeks ago with our good friends at Kite String. We want to take a moment and give them a shout out. If you're in Chicago, check out Kite String Cantina. We are huge, huge fans of them. Amazing drinks, amazing food, Great little patio in the Roscoe Village neighborhood. I also and Josh are diehard members of the food club, which is once a week. You place an order. You pay per week. So if you're on vacation, you're out of town, it's all good. And you get such a good bang for your buck. I won't read this week's because it's too late. But like you get a main dish and they have vegetarian and regular. Everything is gluten-free. You get treats from local like places. Last week we got ice cream from like a local ice cream maker. This week is cookies and then tons of produce. And it's awesome.
Yeah, so check them out. They're on Instagram at kite_string_cantina. Check them out, give them a like and a follow, and sign up for Kite Food Club if the food sounds good in a given week.
Yeah, and you can sign up for email alerts, and then you just get an email once a week being like, hey, yo, this is this week's dish. And you can be like, that sounds so good, or maybe that's not for me. Just keep on it. The food is unreal.
You can also get our conversation card game, No Wrong Answers, at nowronganswersgame.com. It's been blowing up, which is really exciting. You can get that online. You can get it at Four-Sided in any of their locations in Chicago, and now at the Wonder Museum in Chicago.
We're so excited. We're now at the Wonder Museum, which is a very awesome museum. So you should go, and then while you're there, you should buy our game.
And sneak peek, we will also be popping up in a couple local Chicago bookstores as well. So look out for us if you want to support some local bookstores. You should 100% do that. And then you can get the game there too.
Yes. We're big old fans.
Great gift for Father's Day coming up. Thank you, as always, to Ryan Cruz for our beautiful logo. She's at RB Cruiser on Instagram. And thank you to Dylan Dutch for our beautiful theme song. He's at Dylan Dutch on Twitter. And you can follow his music project, Death Love, anywhere you stream music. And until next week, just remember, there's no reason that the North shouldn't have to-go soda cups.
Come on.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Have a good week.